So Finesse2tymes came to the internet and pretty much been going off about a whole lot of other stuff. Of course, we know the few days ago he said he wants all the bloggers to be unalived, all this wild stuff, right? Well, it looks like the fans are questioning now if Finesse2tymes is having some issues with his label. We say he signed to Mobties. He says no, it's not signed. I'm in a partnership deal with him. And then of course you got people in the comment section thinking it's like MoneyBagg Yo because he signed the Bread Gang or did a partnership with Bread Gang. We saw him sign those papers that day. And of course he was with Atlantic as well, right? That's why a lot of people was like, why you signed to your op? Why you signed to your op? Well, here's the thing now, right? So now Finesse2tymes is coming out pretty much saying that he don't have a label. He's like, I don't got a label. Them people are just, my partnership deal, right? And then he made another post pretty much saying that he's mad because they ain't trying to give him the game. Somebody ain't trying to give him the game. Typically, what this means whenever an artist comes out say this kind of stuff, and I'm going to read y'all exactly what they said, but first of all, let me just tell you what it typically means whenever they say this kind of stuff, right? A lot of them done sign these contracts, and they don't know really what's in the contract that they've actually signed. A lot of them don't get entertainment lawyers before they sign a contract, and they end up finding themselves inside of a slave deal or inside of a deal to where the label or whoever else you're signed to, or maybe you set a partnership to, can actually come out and be like, I don't want you to drop. You're not able to drop. And they can pretty much control the artist's destiny, right? A lot of artists, whether y'all believe it or not, it's not that they actually fall off. The label just starts saying, no, you can't drop that. And it literally would like withhold their music. And then everybody forgets about them, right? Now, we're not saying that's the case this time, but I'm going to read y'all what he said right after the intro. Check it out, man. All right. So this is the message that kind of led people to believe that it was either with Mobties or potentially with MoneyBagg Yo or maybe Atlantic. So he pretty much came out and said, and I ain't got no label deal. Quit saying this. I ain't nobody artist. I just got partnership deal with them. I'm the business partner, and Atlantic distribute this. Pound FNG. So typically, what happens is whenever Finesse2tymes comes out and he make any statement and he puts that FNG, he typically puts FNG Mobties or Mobties FNG or something like that, right? Just to combine the two. Now I did alert fans because he left off the Mobties this time. He just says this. I'm FNG, and then he said, I'm not signing no label. I'm talking about I got a partnership with them. Then here's what kind of got people, scratching their head as well, because he came out with another message, and the other message that he came out with, whether this goes to Mobties, whether this goes to MoneyBagg Yo, whether this goes to whoever else he has a partnership deal with, whoever contract type of work he got with, he pretty much came out and said, I'm just a man that come from a broken home. I ain't no better. I had to learn the hard way. I never made the same mistake twice. I didn't have a big brother, uncle, the father figure. My dad was cool with me selling rent. My mama was young. She ain't no better. Type stepdaddy used to ride with me. So his stepdaddy used to ride with him. I had to learn this myself. With that being said, unjudge me. These niggas play perfect and ain't never been through nothing for real. Rap another life. We live and learn. Give me a chance to redeem myself. I'm growing every day. Believe it or not, I just started living life at 31 years old. When the average 16-year-old was going to school playing sports or buying their first car, I was on 23-1 lockdown. I'm lost out here, and these niggas don't even want to give the game because they hate to see niggas do better than them. Pray for me, Art of War. So yes, Art of War is the book he's been reading, but one of the most important parts to take away from this is the ending of it all, right? Where he says these niggas don't want to give the game because they hate to see niggas do better than them. So obviously it's somebody in the type of position to where he wants to get some information or some type of gain from them. And typically in a business world, game is business. I mean, game is, information, right? So maybe he's trying to get some information from somebody and they're not trying to give him all the information because they want to keep him lower, right? Now, I can understand why people would think this is a label kind of issue, because here's the thing. When you have an artist, especially when you get an artist and you get him to sign a contract, you don't want the artist to be smart. It's just like the slave world, right? That's why they didn't let the slaves able to read. Slaves weren't allowed to read. You know what I'm talking about? You a slave, you better not be get caught reading, boy. You're gonna get feathered, tarred. You know what I'm talking about? So you don't ever want to let the slave, or you don't ever want to let the person that you're I don't want to say controlling, because I don't know if that's his situation, but I know the slaves were getting controlled. But your artist, even though he says a partnership, you don't want to let them get too much information, too much game. You want them to have just enough game to be satisfied, to feel like you've given them game, but not enough game to where they can try to rule over and become their own king and become their own start their own separate dynasty, or they're in total control, right? You don't want to give them that type of game, right? So it's somebody that's not giving him that game, right? And that's why people are like, oh, he's having an issue with Mobties, or oh, it's got to be MoneyBagg Yo. Nobody actually knows who is with or nothing like that at all. But like I said, it is somebody probably within that network, simply because he's saying that they ain't trying to give him the game, right? And we know why they're not trying to give him the game, or why whoever it may be don't want to give him the game, because they want to keep him at a lower state. You know what I'm talking about? Either you're going to use your brain and go learn this yourself, and get on YouTube, learn this. Okay, what does this mean? What that mean? But the thing about it is this: by the time these artists start to learn like business and learn like just to study and to just learn stuff, period. I don't want to say it be too late, but a lot of times it do be too late. See, this is what happens, right? A lot of black men in the black community, not just the whole community, but certain minority parts of the community, right, that end up going to jail and all this time, right? They spend a whole lifetime doing a whole lot of other stuff, like the stuff he said he was doing in the upper part, robbing with his stepfather, right? And then when they go to jail, that's when they decide to try to get some type of education or GED or something like that. So it's a lot of time that they're wasting doing all that other stuff, when in actuality, as you get older, the education is going to be the most important thing that you actually have, right? Because when you're going to start doing business deals with people, especially if you're an artist, right? First of all, everybody knows the whole game is to mess off of the artist, turn the artist into your slave, make a lot of money off the artist, and have they but just making money just doing shows. You know what I'm talking about? You do your shows, you get your money, but everything else is ours, right? So when it gets to this kind of stuff, a lot of, they typically try to go off maybe some street rules of, okay, I rock with you, you rock with me, so I'm going to just sign this paper right here and it's going to be cool. I know you ain't got nothing in this paper that, in this contract that I'm finna sign that's going to mess me over, which turns out not to be right 100% of the time with artists, right? Every day there's a new artist and, oh man, I want to get out this contract, man, I don't like this label, all this stuff, right? I mean, you had NBA YoungBoy going at Atlantic. You just always got people going and stuff, right? So like I say, with this situation, we'll just have to watch it closely and let y'all know exactly what's going on and what's going through his mind, because there's something that's bothering him, and it's really, really, really bothering him, because, it's got to do with game. It's got to be with him being a man. You know what I'm talking about? He's saying that he's learning all this stuff right now, but somebody's trying to withhold stuff from him, so he's not able to, right? So he just actually made another post while I'm making this video, and he said, they do it, it's cool. I do it, it's a problem, with his thumb down. So he's definitely have some issues. I'll keep y'all definitely updated, but who do y'all think the issues is coming from? Do y'all think it's potentially Mobties? Do you think it's MoneyBagg Yo? Do you think it's Atlantic? Also, do y'all believe that he's not actually signed to no one and he's their artist? Because see, the contract can say one thing and the artist's words can say another thing, right? Typically when artists start to talk like this, it means, okay, they don't realize something in that contract is screwing them over or has put them at a particular status within the business arrangement that they're in, right? So we'll just have to see how it goes. Let me know something. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about this entire ordeal. I'm out.